Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're getting into some pretty counterintuitive advice on how to build wealth. We're going to break down Iman Gadzhi's 5 raw truths for anyone out there starting with nothing, trying to make that first million.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by busting the big success myth, then we'll get into the timing equation. After that, we'll talk about why following your passion might actually be a trap, why going fast is everything, what kind of business you should really be starting, and finally, how you need to think about struggle.
So, first up is a truth that might be a little tough to hear. We're told over and over that success is all about the grind, right? Just outwork everybody else. But what if that's not the full story? What if it's not even the most important piece of the puzzle? So, the idea here is that this is the real secret sauce. Now, look, it's not that successful people don't work hard. They absolutely do. But the thing that really moves the needle, the factor that pours gasoline on all that hard work, is timing. It's about catching the right wave. That's what really makes the difference.
Yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? And let's be super clear. Hard work is 100% non-negotiable. It's the price of admission. It gets you in the game. But it's not the winning lottery ticket. I mean, think about it. If hard work alone made you a millionaire, every single farmer and construction worker would be loaded. It's the combination of that hard work and being in the right place at the right time that creates that explosive success.
So that brings us right to our next point. If timing is so critical, how in the world do you control it? Is it just luck? Well, no. It's actually an equation with 2 very distinct parts, and figuring this out is probably the most important decision you're going to make. This right here is so interesting. You've got 2 different kinds of timing. Market timing is all the external stuff. The big wave. Think about crypto back in 2017 or AI right now. You can learn to spot those trends. But then there's career timing. And that's all internal. That's about you. Where are you right now? How much money do you have? What skills do you have? Who's on your team? Real, life-changing success happens when your internal stage lines up perfectly with one of those external opportunities.
And this really hammers home that idea of career timing. You've got to climb this ladder one step at a time. Seriously, don't try to skip steps. If you're starting out with 0, your one and only goal is to figure out how to make $1,000. Don't go trying to build a billion-dollar tech company. You have to match your business to where you are on this ladder. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up to fail. All right, next up, we are taking a sledgehammer to another piece of classic success advice. You've heard it a million times, I'm sure. Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, the argument here is that advice is basically a roadmap to being broke and hating the thing you used to love.
So the key takeaway here is to stop asking, am I passionate about this? And start asking, does this get me real-world results? Success isn't really about passion. It's about finding a problem that people will pay you to solve. You know what's funny? The passion, that usually comes after you get really good at something practical and start seeing success. So instead of chasing some vague, fuzzy passion, try this. This is a way more powerful motivator. Don't just set goals for what you want. Create a crystal clear vision of what you don't want. Imagine the future you absolutely have to avoid. That vision of mediocrity, of struggle, that will give you more fuel than any daydream ever could. It forces you to take responsibility and change things right now. Okay, so now you've got your motivation. You know the future you're running away from. The next raw truth is all about how you run. You have to move fast. In the world we live in today, if you're not fast, you're pretty much going to be last. Think about it this way. An optimization cycle is just a fancy term for trying something and learning from it. Every time you try something, you get data back, whether it worked or it didn't. So the person who runs 20 little experiments in a month is going to absolutely crush the person who only runs 5, even if a bunch of those 20 experiments fail. Your speed of learning is directly tied to your speed of earning. And hey, this isn't just some theory. Look at the people who are winning big. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, what was his one big focus? Shipping updates 10 times faster. He got rid of people who slowed the process down, because he gets it. Speed of implementation is the absolute lifeblood of any company. And that leads to this crucial point, opportunity cost. Every single day you wait, you're not just losing money you could have made, you are losing learning cycles. The person who starts just 1 month before you isn't just a month ahead in cash, they're a month ahead in experience. And that's a gap that gets really, really hard to close. Delay is so much more expensive than you think.
So all this brings us to the most practical, down-to-earth truth of them all.
To get started, especially when you're at the very bottom of that wealth ladder, you do not need some world-changing million-dollar idea. In fact, you should probably avoid those.
What you need is a minimum viable business, or an MVB. This is the perfect kind of business for someone who has no money and no experience. It's got to be simple, something you can do all by yourself, and its only purpose is to get you that first win, that first $1,000 in the bank.
And we're not talking about complicated stuff here. I mean, you could literally walk into a local restaurant that has awful photos on Google Maps and say, hey, for $100, I'll take better pictures for you with my phone. It's a simple service, it solves a real problem, and it gets you on the scoreboard. The goal here is just to build momentum, not to build a giant empire overnight.
So we've talked about timing, motivation, speed, and strategy. But you know what? None of that matters if you don't have the right mindset. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important raw truth of them all. It's all about how you see struggle.
This slide shows such a huge contrast. Look, we all struggle. It happens to everyone. The only thing that's different is how we react to it. Unsuccessful people see it as an excuse to quit, a reason to give up. But successful people, they use it as fuel. They know that the only way to get out of the struggle is to go straight through it.
And this really gets to the heart of it. This is the ultimate mindset shift you have to make. The struggle isn't some roadblocks that's in your way. The struggle is the way. It's a requirement. It's the fire that builds the strength and the resilience that you absolutely have to be able to handle success when you get it. Without the struggle, you wouldn't even be ready for the win. So that's the final question I want to leave you with. As you think about your own journey, your own challenges, you've got a choice to make. Are you going to let your struggles be the excuse for why you can't succeed? Or are you going to let them be the fuel that powers you forward? Honestly, the answer to that question changes everything.